going on, crypto world? We're back here to do another video for you guys, coming to you from Decent.bet base camp here in Vegas. Once again, Kurt Conley here with you with Jedidiah Taylor.
Hello.
Today we're really excited to bring you this video. We're going to be talking about ICO. So we're just going to run through a couple of things for you, and then maybe a little bit of news at the end. So I suppose to kick it off, I think one of the things that's really important, we seem to get a lot of questions about, is the forms of funding.
Sure.
Okay, so what forms of funding are we going to accept at ICO, and what do I mean by that? What sort of tokens are we going to accept for people to be able to buy in at ICO?
Sure. So we've decided to accept 4 different currencies. We're going to accept Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dash. Something that's really exciting about Dash, that one of the reasons we wanted to bring them on is, if you're not familiar with it, Dash has an InstaSend type option that allows for, I believe, the fastest transaction speed in all of crypto.
Totally.
So we get a lot of feedback, kind of concerns of people that
there's a bit of fear going on.
FOMO. People feel like they might not be able to make it or get into the ICO. So through something like a Dash type InstaSend with that quick transaction speed, I think is exciting for the community, because the quicker that thing verifies and you secure your DBETs, the less you have to kind of worry.
So there has been problems in the past where people have tried to buy into ICO and there's been like lag times and stuff, right?
Yeah, so one of the challenges with Ethereum's speed right now is the time it takes for the transaction to actually process. So I've heard countless stories of people trying to get into an ICO, actually submitting their purchase, but by the time it had processed, the ICO was sold out. So by eliminating that lag time of processing the transaction through something like Dash, I think makes a lot of sense and helps people know they got their DBETs and they're secure.
I personally am super pumped about Dash.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
I suppose one of the other things I just want to quickly recap on, we have mentioned it in some of the other videos, but what are we bringing live at ICO?
Sure, so we are bringing a sportsbook offering a wide variety of sports. I think you guys will be impressed with how much we're able to offer right out the gates. It's really, I think, vast majority of what anybody would really want to wager or gamble on. So a wide variety of sports available in the sportsbook, as well as slot machines, where we're shooting for 5 different styles or themes of slot machines. Originally we had planned for 1, but just due to our progress and how far we've been ahead of schedule, we've done more than we anticipated. So that's really exciting.
Yep, totally. One of the common questions that we get via our Slack group, our Messenger, people calling us on the phone, is what exchanges will Decent.bet be on after ICO? So I know it's a bit of a difficult question, and I know we're doing a lot of work around that. So I was just hoping maybe you could elaborate what we've been doing, the sort of people we've been talking to, where we're looking to spread our wings out into. We're not just isolated. We're quite looking on a global perspective.
Absolutely, we are. So, we're still at least a month out from the ICO. Everyone knows we've been shooting for middle-ish of September. So a lot of these decisions aren't made until kind of closer to ICO. The discussions are happening now, but as far as commitments and timeframes as to when it'll be listed, a lot of that'll be figured out down the road. We are in conversations with a ton of exchanges. Really, every big, important, meaningful exchange we're in conversations with. And something that's come up actually recently is we've been introduced to a group that we have the potential to be listed on 2 exchanges in Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
So if you aren't familiar, the Asia Pacific is one of the biggest gambling regions in the entire world. They actually are the biggest by far. So to have that sort of exposure into those Asian Pacific markets will be amazing for us and for the community. So we're really excited.
Really excited. Just to recap on that, we had that meeting just recently with these particular people, and I think they come across a bit more excited than we did to get us, onto those Asia Pacific exchanges. So
absolutely,
I'm super excited to continue to explore that avenue.
Yeah, we're optimistic. It seems these conversations are going really well. So we are optimistic, and if we can pull that off and get that exposure, it'll be big.
Yeah, awesome. Another one of the common questions we get is pre-sale, and I think that dovetails back to one of the other questions is, people getting into an ICO. There's a lot of people that miss out on ICOs, and I know we're doing our very best to make sure that as many people can get in Decent.bet ICO.
Absolutely.
In the beginning. But there's a lot of people asking, can I get in a pre-sale? And I know that other ICOs do these pre-sales, so I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit more on about pre-sales, what our belief is about pre-sales, and how our vision's been right from the get-go about pre-sales.
Absolutely. So I can't even tell you, to be honest, millions and millions of dollars that have been offered to us pre-ICO from investors, and we've consistently, semi-apologetically, I guess, turned people down because we appreciate the interest so much, and it's humbling that people would even, approach us and have that much interest that they wanted to get in early and secure it as quick as they could. But we are not doing a pre-sale, and the reason being is our perspective, our approach, our plan the whole time is to really make this as fair as possible to everybody. The community means so much to all of us that, how can we play favorites when we love you all?
And there's so many of you, right?
None of us would have felt good, and we've talked about it many times, giving people an advantage versus others. We really want it to be fair to everybody.
Totally. And I suppose one of the last things is, which comes up quite often, is min and max purchase amounts at ICO. Is there a minimum? Can I do $100, or does it have to be $1,000? I think we might have touched on this in some of our forums and avenues, but I think I'd like to make it pretty clear here what it is and is there rounds and how's that working?
Sure. So no minimum, no maximums. As little as you wanted to contribute to as much as you wanted to contribute, it's fair and open to everybody to kind of do what they want. So there are no minimums or maximums. When it comes to the rounds, we will have 4 rounds. Each round will last 7 days, so it'll be a 28-day ICO. The first round will be a 20% discount and will be the US dollar equivalent of 10 cents.
Right.
And then it kind of cascades up from there, a 20% discount to a 10% discount to a 5% discount, and then the final sales price being 12.5 cents.
Right. Okay.
So I think one of the last things we wanted to touch on, and I think you've heard us say this a lot, is we always want to under-promise and overachieve, and if we say we're going to do something, we always want to be able to do it.
Right.
And I guess this is one of those instances where we have to kind of let everybody down and bring some bad news. We told everybody we would be announcing the ICO date in the next 24 hours, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to bring that date out, and we're really sorry. We wanted to, I think, as much as you wanted to hear it, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to announce that. We know everyone's been waiting for this.
Get it off the camera. So just right now we're going to do this. We're going to give you the ICO day. We're super pumped to give you the ICO day. The whole team's here with us. So I'm going to let Jed give you the ICO day, and I'm going to let you guys run with it and have some fun.
So it's been the most frequently asked question out of any question we get. When is the ICO? We know you're all dying for it. We're excited to announce September 23rd. 2017. DBET will be going to ICO, and we couldn't be more excited and happy to share it with you guys.
Totally, it's been on our minds, and we've been dying to get that out. And
we wanted to tell you.
Yeah, and it's also been one of those things that has to be done properly, like Jed has always said, and consistent through all the videos. We want to make sure that we communicate properly and give it to you. And know that everything's going to be done ready prior to ICO. So there you go.
Perfect, first class.
Yeah. So just to wrap things up, I know all the team's really excited, and I'm sure they all want to say thank you. So go for it, guys. Give them a shout out.
Nate Flanders here, excited, very humbled by the attention that we're getting from the whole community. Just can't wait to see what we have in the future.
100%. Reminiscent. Man, thank you so much for all your support in the community. Everyone's done their part. You can see some people that are very random out there helping out others, answering questions that they've seen us answer. So we appreciate everyone that's done that for us so far today, and we appreciate your support.
Yeah, Chris Hensley here. I want to say thank you to everybody who had a great outpouring of interest and from everybody. So we have probably, I would say, 25 people on the team that aren't even here with us today. We have people all over the world, and I know they want to say thank you as well.
John Henderson here. Thank you so much for your support. Everything's going amazing. We just can't wait to share all the hard work everything we do and all the hard work.
Absolutely.
We've got Tyler with our new members. Tyler just flew in from Spain. Yeah. And all he's done is cook since we've been here. Good food, really good. So Tyler's still finding his feet, but he's adding a lot of value, and we're really enjoying him being part of the team. Do you want to say something, Tyler?
I'm just humbled to be here. You guys are awesome all around. Such a good project. I love everything about it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, bro. And then last but not least.
Andrew here, guys. Thank you so much, especially for the guys, and especially for the team who's been with us since the start, and ultimately everyone there in the public, especially from all the pages and everyone that's been supporting us from day one. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, so I suppose if there's one last message that we'd all like to communicate would be, our house is your house! Peace!